Welcome to the CFG Game Cast episode number 191, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers that like to discuss the latest gaming topics of the previous week. We stream a new episode every week and release it on all podcast services, Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, and so much more. So show us some love. Do us a favor, give us a like, follow, or subscribe to our Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, or Kick. Or go to our main website, confreaksandgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davis Green, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. What is going on, my cyborg?
I had a cyborg week. It was bad. So Monday hit, and I got up out of bed. I went to my office, and I grabbed my medicine, and I walked straight back into the bedroom, and I slept until 7 p.m.
Wow.
Tuesday, forced myself to play games. Played a new game actually called Inside the Backrooms. Well, new to me. It's a group horror game. It's real fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. However, every time we would get to a certain point on the third map/chapter, we would all freeze and the game would stop responding. So I don't know if it's just on that map or what the deal was. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I again woke up, grabbed my medicine, went straight back to bed. So I'm on season 9 of Supernatural yet again. I think this is like my 6th watch through. It's my
God.
it's like my Star Trek. Like I can turn on Next Gen and Supernatural and just I'm out. And then I can wake up a couple hours later, watch an episode, out again. So, there's 15 seasons. Maybe I'll get through them by Monday. Who knows? But yeah, the weather here has been bad, and my shunt hasn't been draining.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask about that, because I saw that there was like videos of like crazy flooding that was happening on the strip.
Yeah, it happened. Yeah. There's been a ton of rain.
Is it still raining there, or is it like, how crazy is it?
Well, I'll wake up, my phone's like, it's partly cloudy, and I'm like, it'll be sunny by noon. That's what my phone says. And noon hits, and I either get a warning, the horrible like Amber Alert style warning that you can't stop it. And it's like possible severe flooding. I'm like, great, that's my area. And then, or it'll just be like, it's partly cloudy with sunny for the rest of the day by 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, it's gonna start raining in 5 minutes and will continue until 3 p.m. It's a light drizzle. I'm like, what? Where is this? Where are the pressure systems coming from? I don't know.
I have no idea, man. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
South, man. It's all coming up from the south.
Yeah. And
because Arizona's getting blasted too, I think.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Well, we've got like an underground city with our sewer system, but a lot of people live in it, and so
y'all even have drainage. Like, I mean, like to see some of the stuff that was happening
there's huge. But dude, you gotta think the strip is like literally in the middle of Las Vegas, so like everything funnels down.
We're a big
boat. Oh, okay.
So it all slides down towards the strip.
Oh,
and
so it's just bad design.
Do run under a lot of those casinos, but again, we have like I want to say like 20,000 people that live underground here in Vegas. And so you got to think if they have a backpack or a shopping cart full of stuff, they're taking it in there with them, and then the sewer systems get clogged because they evacuate, but their stuff's still down there. So things get clogged up. We can't soak up any water, and then before you know it, I see my neighbors on a trash can lid floating down,
crazy,
like it's a slip and slide.
Yep. Do you know what's also really crazy too? I heard that also MGM Grand got hacked.
Dude, so I was there today, and their parking garage still is non-functional.
It's still not functional. Oh my god! Yeah. So apparently. Apparently the MGM Grand has been down, like not even just like all their locations. It's not just one. It's all their properties were down for 4 days. Targeted. Yeah, they were targeted. Yeah. They were targeted for a deal on it was a ransomware. They decided not to pay. It took them 4 days to get themselves back up, and it was crazy. But here, and they're still not
millions.
Yeah, they're losing a ton. And what's even crazier, last week, Caesar's Palace also was hacked. Was also hacked, but they just paid the ransom.
So was the Venetian had issues as well.
The
This
Venetian,
makes me happy.
yeah, the Venetian was the Venetian is an MGM Grand. Is an MGM? Yeah,
Palazzo.
no,
They are
Bellagio.
now.
Bellagio
No.
is. Hold on, we'll find out. Let's
You're
find out
right,
right
but I
now.
think Venetian is a separate entity, or maybe they're under Caesars.
Who owns?
No, I thought they were. I thought Venetian. Oh wait, Venetian.
Venetian Palazzo.
I thought.
I don't know because Wynn owns Palazzo, doesn't he? Or didn't they?
Maybe they're separate
Wynn?
now. That's a good question.
I'm not. I'm not even 100% sure.
There's just so many. I mean, that's just got crazy.
10 years
MGM.
ago, MGM was MGM, Caesars was Caesars. They had one or two other properties.
Okay, so the Bellagio is owned by MGM.
Okay.
So that's
there you go.
yeah. So yeah, that's
MGM
why.
owns a ton on the strip.
Dude. Okay, so yeah,
Free parking.
dude. MGM owns the Grand, the Signature, the Cosmopolitan, the Luxor, the Bellagio, Mandalay Bay, Venetian, New York, Circus, Treasure Island. That's all
That's
MGM.
Insane, dude. That's insane.
And then imagine all that going down. Like that's crazy. That is just.
I can't believe they didn't
crazy.
play. Number one, dude, their security. They got to be looking at that with a. Yeah,
I have inside information about that.
To be 9 times out of 10, though, it's not even the internal security. It's probably a user error that happened that was from the outside that gave them access to get inside. I'm assuming. I mean, that's what it would be.
They don't really have IT people.
Yeah,
They don't.
That's
and their IT
crazy.
people just know how to set up for the conventions, how to set up Wi-Fi. That's it. And landlines.
Oh my goodness, that is insane.
Brother Jerry used to work for them and quit because he worked for Caesars, and he would sometimes be moonlighted over to MGM properties because they used the same IT people. So no wonder both of them got hacked.
It's insane.
That's insane.
It is very insane. Hey, but Lex.
Yeah.
Do you know who should make a children's book of his adventures at a convention? When he goes out to conventions?
I do. His name is
the 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the 3rd seat. How's it going, my dude?
Not bad. I have to say that this has probably been the most de-stressed week I've had in years. So I am.
Same.
Yeah, next week's my last week at the RJ. So just kind of seeing where things go, getting my stuff in order and whatnot, and we'll be doing my last episode with LAN parties on Monday. So just ready, excited to see what the next step is, and where we go from here. I got some ideas of brewing and whatnot, so I'll be doing things. I'll be putting content out and stuff like that as well. So I'm just excited to see where it goes. Basically, you gotta bet on yourself sometimes. So I've never had a problem doing that. So all in all, it's been good. Still haven't beaten Final Fantasy 16. One day I'm gonna finish it, dude. I know, because I'm trying to get it in, but at the same time I'm also trying to fit in Starfield, which I'm really loving Starfield.
You've lost your attention to 16. It's fine. I mean, there's a lot of games that's coming out. You lost your attention to it.
I'm still really loving that story, and I still, you know what I mean. But I'm kind of trying to split my time. I really haven't been playing Destiny at all because
you need this. This is what you need to do. You need to sit down and just this week and just finish it, because, dude, this week, because literally we got. How many other games still that's coming out in October?
Wonder,
yeah, you got
Gear Solid 3,
Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2.
I still haven't finished Miles Morales.
Also, instead of playing Marvel Snap, you could, I don't know, play Final Fantasy 16.
Exactly. There you go.
No, that's true. That is true. I'm trying to.
Just allocate yourself to just say, hey, I'm going to play 16 this week, and then finish it. Then you'll be good. Because what's going to end up happening is that you're going to be the Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth comes out, and you're still playing 16.
No, dude, that will not happen.
It's going to be
really close to finishing it. I'm really close to finishing it.
Just suck it up, finish it up this week, and then you're good, man. Yeah. It's so funny.
Yeah. That's the plan. That is the plan. So overall though, I'm excited. There's a lot of and we'll be talking about here in a little bit too, but F-099, I started playing that a bit, dude. If those folks, older school gamers, that played F-Zero. Like, this is a lot of fun. Takes you back on that nostalgia ride, but
It does.
PvP style. So I've been enjoying that a little bit. And yeah, other than that, though, the two main things I've been doing is Final Fantasy and Starfield, and then Marvel Snap obviously as well. So overall, it's been a solid, really solid week. So
Yes.
What about yourself though, man?
I'm doing good, man. I've just been, man, I am so close to 100 in Marvel Snap. It's not even funny. Like, I have 3 more freaking two, maybe 1 or 2 matches. I got 100 finally.
Yeah,
but yeah, so
gonna knock on some wood, bro.
Yeah, no, right. So I've been doing some pretty good stuff. Just been, working, just been looking for other jobs as always, and also just been, I just took my test for to get recertified, which I passed yesterday. But then I played. I was playing to review. I was wanting to do a video review, but I don't think I have time to do it. But so I just did a write up for it of Liza P, that new Souls-like Pinocchio game, which is a fun game. I definitely loved it. Like playing it, but man, dude, like the system, the mix and match system, which you can also check my review on that with a shameless plug of going to our website confreaksgeeks.com, and it was a really, really fun experience to play it. So yeah, so definitely check that out. And I need to get back on finding out what I want to stream again, because Baldur's Gate I'm still playing Baldur's Gate. I'm always gonna have fun with that sucker. Baldur's Gate is my game of the year, dude. It
really is, dude. I don't think there's anything that can legitimately beat it, dude.
Now I know that Starfield is out, and Starfield is good, but it's not. I mean, it's a Bethesda game, so I'm just like, it's a good game. Yeah. I mean, but it's not like
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I like it for what it is.
Yeah.
Like, no hate from me on Starfield. Like, it is what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some things that I would have liked, but I mean, that's not what it's been. So whatever, dude. Like,
yeah, it's a good game.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a good game, and it's not to pull out of his credit, but it's just kind of like for instance, like the comparison is going to be Zelda or what's called the new Zelda is basically just more of Breath of the Wild to me, but Baldur's Gate, just something about it, man, it's just really special. There's really something about Baldur's Gate just makes it really good. So, and just love playing it. Like, I have 5 different campaigns going in that game at the same time, and I've already hit over 250 hours.
Campaign.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy. It's freaking crazy. I definitely love it.
When am I gonna do that? When am I gonna do that? Dude?
We know. I'm just gonna say it's gonna take you as long as it took you to beat Metal Gear Solid 5. So we'll just say that for you.
Yeah. I'm in it for the long run.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in it for the long run. Most of those games, I feel like Tears of the Kingdom, I barely even touched.
You already admitted to it. You already just said to yourself, yeah, you know what, this is not gonna happen.
Yeah, no, I know. It's like, I have it. I'll play it at some point in time, but like, I wasn't even that big of a hurry to play it, dude, because there's just so many good games out.
Yeah.
Like, this is the opposite problem that we had when we were kids, where there wasn't very many games.
We'd like to have 1 or 2 games, yeah.
Yeah, now there's just so many different games and platforms and different ways to play it, dude. It's like, look, man, like, I could just, and like, that becomes overwhelming for me as well. And then I end up not playing anything or playing something that I'm familiar with. And the stuff just continues. The cycle continues.
I definitely understand. But guys, anyways, I know y'all don't want to be talking about the good old days of OG gamers, so we'll go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic or discussion in the world of video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be a game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry, and we don't want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners and viewers on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Kick, to be a part of the conversation. So if there's something that you're wanting to chime in about whatever we talk about, by all means, just type it inside the chat. We would love to talk and discuss with you, and we may just pick it out and just put it in the podcast itself. So let's get this party started. I will go first, and I just wanted to talk to you about a very interesting thing. So here's the deal. There has been so many things that's been taught, like this topic itself, that there's so many people talking about it. Like, you just can't take people's words on it directly. I wanted to be 100% Now, just being 100% transparent to you, I may get some of this wrong still because I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. Still, but from what I've gathered in the information and the notes that I've been taking, this is from what I think is this is what is currently happening, and basically I think people should really should really be kind of pissed off because whatever they're doing, I feel like there's an award that's on the back, that's behind the veil of companies that are just saying, hey, what can we do to just make people so pissed off or just make us the shittiest company ever for us, you know? I mean, it's like the stuff that they're doing just seems pretty deliberate that they're trying to get away with, and this one's really taking the cake for me. And then I want to talk about the Unity debacle that's currently happening, and so this is what's happening. So Unity is an open sourced video game. Like, it's a program that a lot of the programmers, indie developers and stuff use to make their games through. There's been a lot of big games that came through Unity. Like Fall Guys is Unity. You know, even freaking Pokemon Go is Unity. You know that, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of different kinds of stuff that's happening with it. So like so there's a lot of different big games that came out really user friendly for people that are just wanting to figure out how to program, how to do stuff at a basic level and stuff like that. So Unity was usually a good learning tool for everyone to kind of get into the sport of it. So and it's been like that for years. So now there was a statement earlier this week that Unity was going to be changing their thresholds of their pay statures or their pricing model to something so egregiously aggressive that it is sickening. It is incredibly sickening. So it's just saying an FU to the developers that are using that's using Unity in their games, or people that have already used it in their games and is still paying, and people are paying for it because the developers are going to have to pay for it. So here's the deal, and I'm going to put a chart here. It's probably the best way of doing it. It's going to put the chart here. Here's the deal. So the Unity is now changing their system. So instead of doing it by a flat fee or a percentage that's coming out from the top of the amount of money that they're getting out of the game itself that's running the program, it is going to be going by per download, which is unbelievable. So their algorithm, so they don't get your direct information for per download itself. What they do is that because how Unity works is that when the Unity game is installed, the person that downloads the game itself has a program to show that there was something that was downloaded through a Unity game was downloaded, but it doesn't have your personal user information. What Unity will know is that someone downloaded it somewhere on something, and it's going to be a charge. So there's certain tiers for these charges. Anything that so for these developers that get $200,000 in profits of the games that they sell, then they have to pay 20 cents per download, 20 cents per download on each of the units, each download that happens into it. So just in that basics, let's say $200,000 at a $40 game, and then they got up to 200. They went over over 200,000 at the base. That's $40,000. Back at $40,000 back to Unity because they're using their graphics engine and stuff like that.
I would like to point out, if you purchase a game, you install it, you need room later on, you get rid of said game, but it's still in your library, and you reinstall it, that counts.
Yeah, all of this counts. And what's even worse? OpenGL. OpenGL is also a Unity, uses Unity to run it. So that's a browser game title that you could use. If you refresh the page, that counts as an install. Oof. Because and stuff like that. So all these different kinds of situations can get to it. And let's say this: the most recent game that just came out, Sea of Stars, 250,000 units. sold. 40 that was 40 something dollars a piece. That's almost $600,000. That means that they would have to, if they went through the unit, how the units are sold, if they went through this system now, they would have to pay Unity $75,000 to from their profits towards that, and that is freaking insane. And that's not even including like, and these are just the mid tiers. You're talking about now the people that are just like the low tiers, like the Unity individual, the personal, or the lowest package of Unity itself is what's going to really hurt. But the higher tier, I guess the good news is that it's not a 20-cent cut; it's a 15-cent per download cut for like the Unity Pro and the Unity Enterprise levels. But still, like that means so if someone buys if someone sells 1 million units, they are owing Unity like literally hundreds of thousands of dollars just because of installs itself, depending on how much it's going to deal towards this. I have never seen how deliberately straightforward a company could ever be. Like, this is worse than what EA has ever done. like and EA has been a garbage company for so long. I mean, not as of late, but like for so long. Because you know what this reminds me of? Like, you remember how like back in the early to mid 2000s, they were implementing a online pass because they were trying to fight used games, because they were saying that so like if you bought a used copy of Madden, you have to pay $5 or $6 so you can play online online for it. This is so freaking deliberately crazy. And you don't think that this is like, obviously the publishers are not going to are going to eat this cost. This means that the prices are going to increase. The prices are going to increase for some of these games. There's just no way I could see around that. So this is so disgustingly bad that I really hope this something happens towards it. I mean, or towards Unity. So I just want to get y'all's take on that.
Oh, let me go first, pretty please. So I don't know if you clarified it, because I was reading the chart pretty hard there for a minute, because I wanted to make sure, because Dust relayed this information to me the other day, verbatim, and he was very correct. So I know they've come back and said that for charity events, it's not going to count towards that, which, okay, whatever. But here's the thing, and here was my thought, and Dust had the same thought too. They must have looked at Fortnite's engine and what they're doing. And if you guys don't know, and please correct me if I'm wrong, boys, if you use their engine and you make $1 million, you then owe them, I think, 5% of that.
What, for Fortnite? I don't know. I
For
haven't
Fortnite's
looked it
engine. And I can't even think of Fortnite's engine name. What is it called? Help
It's
me
probably
out.
Fortnite Epic or whatever. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. I don't know what like its official name is.
That's fine though. But I mean, that's normal. That's
right,
normal
that's
business.
normal.
Yeah.
Here's where I say this is not normal. It's almost like Unity said, that's a great business model. However, how do we F this up and piss a bunch of people off? Because there are a lot of indie game developers. We all know I'm an indie game queen when it comes to horror. A lot of them are using Unity. Now, a lot of them have blown up and gone viral because of TikTok years later, right? So these developers who created these games, and it's in a few hundred people's libraries, they go viral on TikTok. Now they're owing a pretty penny possibly at some point, right? So it's kind of like, well, wait a minute.
It's not.
I know it's going to go into effect in January.
It's
right?
not the end user that's going to be affected by this. Well, I'm sorry. I'll take that back. It is going to be the end user that's going to be affected by this directly, but it's not going to be us directly paying the per
Unreal
install.
Engine. Thank you, Doc.
What's going to happen is that these prices are going to the developer directly. Is what I'm saying. Is what's going to happen. The reason why, if they're going to the developers directly and they're saying, hey, because they're using their system, they're obviously going to charge, instead of $39.99 or $20 per the game, they're going to charge $30 for the game. That's how we're going to get. That's how we're going to get affected.
We're going to get stabbed.
But
right. Understandably so.
Yeah, and that's just, and that there's just no. I just don't understand. I mean, there has to be a justifiable reason, but although ironically enough, the CEO of Unity used to be a vice chair head of EA, so in a way,
EA up to their old shenanigans. I see.
Just a different hat, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not pointing any figures, but yeah. So
Right.
yeah.
I would like to point out, chat has said Unreal Engine. Thank you. That's what Fortnite's engine is called. Now, what was Unity getting paid before? I believe Unity was free before, right?
Unity had a free. Unity had a free tier. Unity did have a free tier initially,
and they didn't even have anything where like
like this.
No, not like this.
Wow.
This is
so this
brand
is a
spanking new.
hard turn from what they were.
They were going down the Golden Brick Road, and they said, "Let's go through that scary forest instead." Stupid.
I don't know.
So I've got a couple questions here. One, when is this supposed to take effect?
January.
Number two, is it in January? Is this going to be retroactive to games that are already released?
Yes.
So games.
Yeah. Yes.
What?
There's no grandfather.
So January 1st, all of a sudden it's like, you owe us, here's a bill for $75,000. You owe us.
And with that, I would like to point out, guys, make sure that you go through your Steam libraries and you click on community tabs for games that you think may have come from the Unity engines, because they'll tell you, hey, you better download this now because we're getting out of here. They won't be able to.
But here's the most deliberate, flagrant thing of all of this, because this is what someone could legitimately do, though. Someone could legitimately make a bot and just constantly reinstall, uninstall, and just you know how you do review bombs on Metacritic. Yeah. You could do the same kind of thing, but it's going to be even worse because now more money can be literally being removed from the original developer for whatever game that they use through Unity, through said Unity. I mean, that's freaking that's unbelievable. Like, I mean, and there's no way for them to do it. I'm sorry, what were you going to say, Smitty?
Bleep Bloop says, for the first time, third-party developers that make their games exclusive to the Epic Game Store for 6 months can keep 100% of their revenue for that period. The offer, part of the company's new Epic First Run program, incentivizes developers to help bolster Epic's library of exclusive titles. From an article on extremetech.com. Well, that was going to be my next point, and this is what I think Unity is number one is kind of the forcing the hand on. Number one, there's nothing saying that there's no incentive to build off of Unity. If that's the kind of stuff, why not go to Unreal Engine? Why not go to Game Maker 2? Why not go to, you know what I mean? Like, there's all kinds of different engines that you can build in that have way better, at least pricing wise. And I'm not saying, for the fact that anybody can use this stuff and get in and build something out of nothing. And then if you hit a certain threshold, then that's where, they start getting a bit of a kickback and whatnot. But
well, no, you're totally right. I mean, I totally agree with you. But the thing with Unity that made it really good was that there are certain things that, obviously there's certain things that make that Unity does better than the other programs, especially multiplayer implementations are usually one of the biggest things that they do way better than Unreal and stuff like that. And it's simpler. Like think about it. Like, and think about this though too. Look at the games that can't think of. I mean, there's so many good big games that happen. Cuphead, Unity, Among Us, Beat Saber. The biggest one, can you imagine this? Genshin Impact is also Unity. Guess what that's going to happen? Like, how much money on just Genshin Impact alone? That alone is going to get so much money. It's going to get from that.
Dude, this is
for the
crazy.
System.
I think this is also, again, and look at all the industries. Look at the writer's strike. Look, there's just an automotive strike over in Denver. Dude, I feel like more and more people are looking at unions and thinking that, as a viable option and being able to get better protections so that, funky things like this don't happen. You're building in the thing and there's no protection from a company being like, you know what, guys? Everything that you've done, we're going to throw this in. This is new and it's going to be retroactive to what year? Is there even like a cutoff year or just perpetually retroactive to everybody, and they can just go
Right.
and start collecting on people.
Well,
Well,
I
here's the
need to
thing
know
though, but
more
this is
about
not
how they're
really.
going to enforce that.
But this isn't really just like a union kind of situation, because this what this is that, let's say theoretically that you wanted to make a game, Smitty, and then you decided to learn and you learned how to use Unity and you made your game through Unity. It's I mean, and then you release it on Steam and you do your own thing, because originally now you'll be able to do that without worrying about any kind of weird kickbacks unless it gets really popular. Once you hit a certain amount, then
Right.
then there's some sort of level of kickback. It's not. I mean, this isn't
Yeah.
really a union thing. This is just about straight up greed, because how this straight up this how what this is. Well, I think what this is also pushing more towards is that they're trying to force people to start pushing more microtransactions in the game, so they have a justification to have side hustles going through this, so they don't get hit by that 20 cent installation limit. Because
right.
right now Rust 2, the person who created Rust is making
Right.
Rust 2. He already said it's not going to be a Unity game. It's going to be Unreal. It's
Yeah.
switching over, because there's no freaking way towards that.
So, real
So-
quick, Scyther says, I'm confused. The games being made aren't free. Unity has been free. Why should devs get a profit, but the people who create and maintain the core engine should just get blanked? Now, we are not saying that at all. Should they get a cut? Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
To
Especially when you
this
hit a
degree,
threshold.
I
Like,
don't
dude,
think
this
so.
complete, like, how do you be you can't
So
be an
look at-
indie company,
yeah.
you know what I mean, and develop a game. It's no longer profitable because they're taking such a large chunk of what your profits would be. And
So
that's like coming like, you know, straight out the gate, 1 to 100,000. They're still taking stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like,
We're
that's
not
tough,
saying,
man.
yeah. So look at it this way. Genshin Impact gets an average of has to get an average of maybe a good millions of dollars, right? Okay, so if Genshin, let's throw a number, say $10 million of just regular stuff with microtransactions, all that stuff per installs, because they have I don't know how many concurrent people playing in a day, and what their average download. Let's say their average downloads that they get in a day is about, I don't know, 35,000, maybe 45,000 downloads, because there's always something that's going on to justify that kind of thing. So let's say that they decide that in a week's time they get over a ridiculous amount of downloads itself. So now what the developers will have to worry about is the fact that not only that they're taking out the cut of whatever their cut is from their profits is, their level of a cut is literally going to be millions of dollars just taken because that they made it through Unity. A program prior to this time was free. Maybe was the initial incentive for them to make it or whatever was going to be less, or was going to be is now just basically saying, okay, you owe me $2 million a month or whatever, $3 million a month, because just for this to go working for no reason. And it's like, okay, so no, I can't. I would not be already on that train itself. It's just
my thing though
crazy.
too is that, I mean, I think games like that to do a blanket freaking, you know what I mean, a blanket just this is retroactive, to me doesn't seem right, because again they had a different program. It was completely free,
Grandfather
whatever.
did. Yeah.
Grandfathered in. So to go back and be like, well, this is going to be retroactive, I think if anything they should have dealt with them, with games that are in that situation, deal with them directly and have a separate contract.
I think it'll be easier said than done because of the program.
Well, obviously it'd be easier said than done.
Even
yeah.
just how something like Unreal has, like if you meet this threshold, then this is the percentage that we get. But doing it upon downloads, again, is dangerous, because again, people don't like developers. Maybe a 2-man team splits off and one guy gets angry and tells his whole crew to go and spam bot downloads. Then that guy is owing money he didn't even make.
You're
right?
trolling to you're allowing trolls to get more of the
opening
power on this, which is insane. Yeah,
And then how do you prove that, right? How do you prove a bot was doing it? Do you have an IP address? Were you tracking it? So, and they don't, because obviously if they did, if I download the same game twice that I've already purchased, it shouldn't count as a second download towards that accumulative number, right? So obviously their program, which they are keeping proprietary because people have asked, how does this program work? We can't tell you at this time. Okay, sure, great. So I just think there are better ways to do this. And I think, if you're working with developers who have made hit after hit after hit, say, hey, okay, look, once you meet the 500,000 threshold, you owe us 5%. Once you hit the million threshold, you owe us 10%. If you want to do it that way, sure.
Go
But
for
doing it upon downloads just doesn't fiscally make sense, right?
Well, I think their reputation has gotten damaged though too. Because let's say theoretically that they renege on this. Because like, would you trust them? I wouldn't trust them at this point. Like as a developer, because now you know that was their eyes and they thought that was initially a good idea, and you don't know what they're going to do in the in the future. Like I wouldn't like it. I don't know if this is going to be a damage control situation where they realize, oh, wonder why there's less developers, and the only reason why they're kept afloat is because of the previous people that can't leave. That can't leave to towards it because the game is already out and it's already prospering and doing all this crazy kind of thing.
That's crazy to think about. Like, what if they weren't even using it, but you still got to pay on it?
Yeah.
Because I would just pull it down, right?
I mean,
just pull the game down. I'd imagine some people would do that because
some people would probably have to do it. Yeah. It's too expensive.
A lot
especially
of them
a game that
are.
doesn't make money or actively make money. Like that's.
But there's
insane,
a certain threshold. So they're saying up to $200,000 of you getting the money into it. So anything under that, I don't think that it will apply for those kind of people. But the people that do hit that threshold of over 200,000 is what's really going to hurt towards all of that. And I think that's what's freaking crazily aggressive for that.
And someone is saying,
there's also a tier system.
Yeah. They've always had the tier system.
As a dev, you can have a tier system.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that
Okay, so there's a pros. Okay, so there's a regular one. There's a low tier, which is the personal and the personal and Unity Plus. But technically, because they're changing their system, Unity Plus is gonna be obsolete. They're removing Unity Plus. So it's going to be Unity Personal. That's the one that's going to say $200,000 or more, anything over $200,000 or more. It's going to be 20 cents per install. But then you got the next tier, like the mid tier, that mostly where most devs are usually around, that they pay $1,000 for it for the year. And then
that's what it is. That's what I was wondering. What are the prices on these tiers?
Yeah. And that one is but that one has a sell. I think it's $1 million or whatever. That they set it up. So that tier, what that tier does is that it's if you're at that tier, same thing goes into effect, but it's 15 cents. Then you got the enterprise level, which is the AAA studios that use Unity. That's going to be 12 cents per install and stuff. So.
Oof.
Oh,
yeah. I was looking at the piece of paper. We have a lot of questions in chat.
Okay, let's go with it.
All right, so I'm gonna try to go down the line as fast as I can. Retroactive charges, how does that hold up in court? They probably have a contract similar to Twitch, where once you sign on that dotted line, there is a piece of information in there that a lot of people don't read. We can change this contract at any time and further charge you blah 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 blah. And once you sign it, you've signed it. So if they renege on that contract and bring a new one forward, you've already signed the old one, also signing the new one. Does that make sense?
I don't know if I don't want to go by an assumption of because I don't know what the contract that they signed and gone through the process itself, and really we don't know.
I feel like that's
we don't know.
But I'm speculating here.
Yeah. So we don't know if that's something like that. So for something like this, I mean, I'm pretty sure they something like that. Well, in an end user format, I can understand why they would do something like that, but at a developer level, I don't know. That sounds kind of shady if they did something like that, because you're the one that's creating. Yeah, you're creating the game, so you're the one that's going to be setting up the bars to whatever the level that's in tuned. I don't know, since I'm not a developer towards it, so I mean it may not. So so we keep that open. What other questions?
There are so many. Okay, hold on, let me scroll back up. Bleep Bloop wanted to put a statement out there. There was speculation that a reason this is happening is because of the success of the recently released Sea of Stars. TLDR, they want more dough. So basically, if they were doing this, then any and everybody could download and re-download a game for any reason whatsoever and say it doesn't matter that you've already paid for said game. The download is what we count. Correct.
The Sea of Stars
So
download is not even nothing. It's only 250,000 downloads. I mean, it's not like they've had. I mean,
still a lot.
it or units have been sold towards it. It's not. I mean, that's nothing compared to the stuff that they've had before in the future, in the past itself.
Right.
So I don't know if it's because of that.
So, and then Scyther's kind of open-ended questions. Bleep Bloop says if more games have that success and they want a bigger cut, obviously, correct. Donk says it should be noted that Unity is free for the base engine, but you pay for support and add-ons. Correct.
Yeah, no, that's right. He's right.
However, that's going to be changing in January.
Mhm.
Scyther, isn't that business though? When your product increases in value, you increase the cost, supply and demand.
We're not arguing about like trying to get for them to not get their money. They can get their money, but the way that they're getting their money is not a sound way of doing it, because now you're exposing yourself in multiple ways and then you're punishing the developers that used your system way more aggressively than you should, though. Is where it comes down to. From what I'm reading, is where it's coming down to.
And think of it this way, Scyther: supply and demand. The game does really good, right? More copies are being sold, more people are downloading, re-downloading because maybe there was an update. And they are getting more money because every time that dev is making more money, they get more of a cut. However, in this model, it's a little different. It's just straight up greed, more or less.
Because like, who's to say that that I could just say, like I said, you can make an app that just say install the game, uninstall the game, install the game, uninstall the game constantly, and because since the information is private on the end user side, so Unity doesn't have that information. All Unity knows is, oh, this game is getting 1 install, 2 installs, 3 installs, 4 installs and stuff, but they don't know where, they don't know how or why, or they don't care. All they know is that the installs are coming in. So I as an individual could browser bomb them on these installations and then literally make them lose money for a quote unquote successful game at that point.
Right.
That way, if there's something like that that's going to do that, that's going to allow you to do something like that, there's something wrong, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It essentially covers most of the questions. So
is there a time limit to that though? So you're saying that it's not going to retroactively apply to games? It's going to apply to games that are built in Unity after this takes into effect? I believe somebody
who said that.
Like maybe somebody was saying that.
Unity.
I mean, even still, even if that is the case, like, is that then in perpetuity? Like, is there a stopping point? Or is it like as long as your game is there, like you will just always owe us money? So like even if you're not putting any resources towards it anymore, and like I know it still has to hit that threshold, but like
Friday the 13th would be a good example.
Yeah, where there's still a user base and people doing stuff. Like I feel like more studios would be inclined just to shut it down if that were the case. Like I want to see more. Is there not, like, have they officially like?
It says we want to be clear that the quarter of the Unity runtime free installs starts on January 1st, 2024. It is not retroactive or perpetual. We will change once for a new install, not an ongoing perpetual license royalty like revenue share. Okay, so there you go. So
the first time that somebody installs is the only time that it counts.
No.
Essentially.
Well, that's what
they're saying.
That's what they're saying technically, but that means that you can still spoof. You can still spoof different kinds of things to be information to different kinds of things to different kinds of devices and stuff like that. And OpenGL is technically going to have to. You're going to have to do it. There's no way that that they could just say, "Oh, this is the one thing, the one time this is going to happen for this one specific game." and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just very.
I don't know enough to be able to like I don't know enough, you know what I mean, to be able to intelligently be like, oh, but blah 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 blah. From a surface level, you know what I mean? Like it just seems like a rather aggressive approach. I feel
it's
like
way
they could
too
have been
aggressive.
friendlier with that. And I think we will see some drop off. And like you said, even people that built originally are going to be like, hey man, I'm going to look to see and work it into a different engine. And they've been called out publicly by multiple studios. So it'll be interesting to see if they end up walking that back any. And
I wouldn't even trust, like I said, it's going to be hard to trust them, but something like this, if they were willing to go and do whatever they're doing with this already as it is, but we'll see. I mean, would that be like an equivalent of when scalpers buy consoles by the hundreds, where for example, I'm a scalper buying 100 PS5s, by me buying all those consoles, Sony then looks at the console, buys and says on, hey, we've sold X amount of consoles. I mean, it's kind of weird, I don't know if I can say it in a one-on-one. I guess I would say kind of in a way, but I mean, if you bought 100 PS5 consoles, then you installed the game on all 100 PS5s, then you towards that, and you know that you're not even using it, then it's gonna that's gonna be kind of messed up. Would be a little bit effed up. So. Oh my god, dude! We've talked about this discussion. I know. That's crazy. Look,
it's a juicy.
It's a crazy one. Sure, it's a very crazy one.
A little bit of a longer episode,
right? Yeah. Okay. Well, no, I loved it. That's what I wanted. I wanted like it was a good. I mean, people were engaged on this, so that's exactly what it is. So.
And when you guys have questions, if we can answer them, we're happy to. And we're also happy to speculate on some things. Like the verbiage was, in print, like if the same person owns a game but downloads it twice, that will count two times, right?
I think they go by devices though, not by individual on the who owns the game. So like, let's say,
I'll send the verbiage and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, because it's really weird.
Yeah, you're kind of screwed. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah. Okay. Can you imagine? Because like, if you have Steam on your PC, that you decide to install it on your Steam Deck, two different devices. That means that would count as two. You know, it's just gonna just remember. All right, anyways, Smitty, what do you bring it to the table, man?
Oh, I'm next. Oh,
yeah, you're next.
I just wanted to go over. Obviously, this past week we had both a Nintendo Direct and a state of play from Sony. But starting off, dude, again, man, I always have a great appreciation for Nintendo's Directs. They are concise. They hit you with all the stuff. They give you, there's usually some sort of surprise. We get a preview of games that are coming out really soon, if not like the day of and stuff like that. So obviously a big one for me was seeing F-Zero 99. I loved F-Zero as a kid. So to see that come back and in that like kind of battle royale style format, dude, like I'm not going to lie, I was having an absolute blast playing that earlier. So that was freaking huge for me. I know that they showed a bit of that Prince of Persia, and I was able to see a little bit of that as well at Nintendo Live here. Yeah, in Seattle, and it looked cool. Like it looked smooth. It looked good, and you got to remember too, we're on the cusp of the whatever it's gonna be called, the Switch 2 or whatever. It's coming, dude. Like there's no way I believe that it doesn't come out sometime next year.
Yeah,
exactly. Agree. So you know what I mean? Like this is the last little bits, but I love it. You got Super Mario RPG. I love that game as a kid as well. That was freaking fantastic. Absolutely, dude. I love Super Mario RPG. When I saw that, dude, I got super geeked out. I was like, I never thought, like, I haven't played it or anything in a grip, so I was excited to see that. I don't know who needs this, but I guess they're redoing the Tomb Raider games as well. I'm kind of over remakes and all that stuff.
Mine.
You know what's fair though? I will say that it is fair because Tomb Raider is what, 30 years old now? Almost 30 years old?
It's
97?
Yeah, it's been a grip.
Yeah,
it's
so
the
remake may not be for us, but I think it would be more for, people that know Tomb Raider but didn't know where it came from. But no more triangle boobs. So
I came out as an adult.
Yeah. Really did.
Yeah, dude, Luigi's Mansion 2. I know that's one that folks have been waiting on. There it is. Fantastic.
Baby Lex with her original fro.
So many freaking, what's it called? It's like so many remakes. That's the one thing that's really
I
kind of irritating me.
know.
Yeah, I'm kind of over remakes, but we get the final wave too for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So this has been over the last couple of years as they've come out. I think they've done a really great job introducing new characters, bringing in new tracks, new old tracks. Like, this is what I've said for years in terms of Mario Kart. Like, I don't know why they don't just build one out and then, you know, build into that infrastructure and expand it with
There
stuff.
has
So
to be
I
a
really
reason. Yeah.
well, I mean, they're doing it now with this. Like, I felt like this was a great experiment for them to really be able to showcase that. So I don't know if they'll come out with maybe Mario Kart 9 with the Switch 2 or whatever, which would be cool. But I hope they employ that same thing. Like, I've got no problem. And if you have the Nintendo Online stuff, you know, all that stuff is included. That is, again, a reasonably priced online thing, which I remember back in the day. Remember when online was just free? You didn't have to pay to play with people online. I miss those days. So there was a lot. I don't know if you guys got a chance to check out the direct, but I'd love to know what your guys' thoughts were. If there's anything you guys are excited about. I'm really geeked about Mario Wonder as well. Got to play a little bit of that, and that, you know, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a lot of fun with the family.
I mean, really, for Nintendo, not really. There really wasn't anything, you know. I mean, there's that new Vanillaware game that's coming out, Unicorn Overload, Overload, I believe. But that one, but that's just me with RPG geek here. But other than that, there wasn't anything that really kind of 100% stood out. I mean, there's also the remake of freaking Paper Mario, the one that came out on GameCube back in the day, and I'm just like, yeah,
that's the only one I'm excited about.
Really? Oh, is that the one?
I never got
I
to
bet Doc
play
is excited about.
GameCube.
I feel like Doc has a connection with Paper Mario as well.
He and I have talked about it. I never really got to play it. My friend had a GameCube, and she just wanted to destroy me in fighting games, and that was it. And every match, finish him. And I'm like, okay, why am I playing you again? She's like, well, it's fun for me. I'm like, that's okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm at your house. But she would fall asleep and I would play Paper Mario, and then she would delete my freaking progress.
Oh, that's rude.
I know, Julia.
Friends?
So,
Jesus.
what are you gonna do?
My God, not play with
was an
someone else. That's what I would do. Jesus, that is terrible. Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah. I mean, the thing would be with the Switch is like at first I thought the Switch was I mean, it's a fun system. It's a fun indie system and stuff. But at the same time, it's like the realism for me to play most of these games are not really there for me, except for maybe Mario Wonder and Mario RPG. But like, so I'm not really impartial of it one way or the other. I'm just gonna wait till like the Switch 2, or maybe to see what other options there are, what they're going to be. I you know what? It's funny. I have never played a Paper Mario before, so
same. I haven't either.
Yeah. So like
It's fun.
it's I mean, it's definitely up my alley. I would definitely play one, but I mean, I would probably play this one, but I'm not in any hurry to play this one because you know what? There are games that have been that have come out. I mean, like February is going to be a busy month of RPGs because with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth that just getting announced coming in at the beginning of February. Persona 3 is the one that I never played before. I'm gonna and stuff. Just like a game like this, I can wait. So we'll see.
But you said the beginning of February, not the end of February.
Well, I'm sorry. Persona 3 is the beginning of February. I don't know when was
No. Final Fantasy.
That 7 Rebirth was in mid February.
Or Rebirth. This has it as February 29th. What? I
mean that's a placeholder. Hold on. Fantasy. Wait, February 29th.
Like,
is next year a leap year? Is next year a leap year?
That's what threw me off, dude. I was like, wait a second, what?
That's weird.
Deleting a progress is backstabbing. My brother did it to me with Final Fantasy VII. That's why I never finished Final Fantasy VII.
Well, here's the difference, though. It was hers. we didn't play that much. It was more of I was bored and I didn't want to go watch TV in the other room with her parents. And so I would kick on her little TV and she had, headphones with a long cable so I could plug it in and I could hear it and I could play. Um it may not have actually been her, so I can't confirm. This was in 7th and 8th grade, so, but yeah, no, she'd come over and play my
Wow,
Sega
okay.
every once in a while, but we were going out to hanging out at the movie theater all the time. I don't know why, but that's what we did.
Yeah, February 29th. It comes out the 29th. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Right.
no, that is interesting. I was gonna say, speaking of shifting gears, that is what we got was the release date for Rebirth, which I am super geeked about because a lot of this stuff is fuzzy for me. I don't really remember. It's been so long, so it's like almost like playing a new game that feels familiar. So I'm excited to continue
What game?
that.
Final
Rebirth, Final Fantasy
7
VII
Rebirth.
Oh.
Yeah,
Shut up,
yeah,
Lex.
that was
Got
the
it.
game. That was the game that my brother. Not only that, it was coming on 2 discs. That's weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Like,
I don't think it would really matter
why?
since you're going to buy it digitally, right?
I'm gonna buy it
releasing
digitally.
it on
Yeah, so it's not.
2
Yeah, that's what.
Again?
Yeah. Physical disc
Yeah.
and physical
Well,
game.
no, remember it was on 4 discs.
Oh, that's
Originally for
Yeah,
PlayStation.
3 discs. 7
Was it 3 discs?
Yeah, 7 was 3 discs,
Okay.
and 8 was 4 discs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously more Spider-Man 2, which that looks clean. Dude, that game's gonna be a ton of fun. I'm really excited. I want you to know as well, Lex, that there is a particular mission that is going around and photographing stuff again. So I'm warning you now that is a thing. They did not get rid of that. If anything, they leaned into it a little more.
Because Peter Parker is a photographer.
That is literally what Peter Parker does.
You know
dude.
what? I'm just gonna have a save file at your house, and you can do that
There
mission
you go,
for me.
Yeah. Just have
And
Dust
then
do it.
I'm good.
You'll be good.
He didn't play Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
boo that.
He
I
doesn't
asked
care.
he would help me a little bit here and there, but not too
Uh,
much because he would sit and
yeah.
watch me play. But no,
I'm
it's
just
all right.
definitely, yeah. I'm looking forward to it though. I mean, like the 7 Rebirth. I mean, like I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan of the original 7. So like, but this series, I
Surprise,
think I'd be like,
surprise.
shut up.
But somebody's got a vendetta. So
But
people
I
will be playing
I
it.
prefer.
Mhm.
I do like the other. This version I do like a lot more than the original one, but it's still like it's still 7. I'm looking forward to it, finishing it up. I need to platinum the other one, and play Integrate. I still haven't touched Integrate yet.
I did. That was great. That was great.
Yeah, so
That tided me over in the lull between. That's why I was so happy when we finally got a release date for Rebirth. Plus, it's looking like it's gonna be exclusive for at least 3 months to PlayStation.
3 months. Wow, that's shorter.
Yeah, that is shorter.
That's a lot
So
shorter.
Square's probably like, look, dude, we're losing. Because I mean, we talked about it here, I think like last week, where Square, they lost money on what was it? Lost money on. Yeah, well, that, yeah. And how that was an issue for them. So I think the exclusivity stuff with PlayStation and Sony, I think it's starting to not seem as valuable to them. And we're already kind of starting to see it too, where they're open to
Well, they made a new deal with
on the platforms with Microsoft. Right?
They just finally made a new deal with Microsoft literally a month
Yeah.
ago. So like a month or two ago. So I think that's what it really kind of pushed into it. So but yeah, I mean it's not like, I mean, I'm for multiple systems. Just play the game, try to play as much as you can towards it, But like the if God, we'll see. We'll definitely see. Hopefully the game, like, I forgot how many versions of 7, like how many games is 7 coming out? Is it 3 or is it 4? I can't remember, because I know it's either going to be 1 or 2 more, and that's it.
I have no idea, dude, to be honest.
I'm just like, hurry up.
He said, hurry up.
Just
Nah,
hurry
dude, it's
it
gonna be
up.
like another like 4 years,
Dude, it's like
probably before we get
it's been 3
whatever
years already.
the third installment will be. Yeah.
When did we get
3.
the first one? In 2020, 2021? I believe it was in 2020.
I think it
Yeah,
was during the pandemic. Yeah.
yeah, because like I remember playing it in the pandemic, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's why I finished it so fast, comparatively.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the beginning of all
Yeah.
of that. So there's going to be 3. Okay, so there's going to be one more after that. Okay, cool. So like, but yeah, that one's gonna be fun. Spider-Man 2 is a definite. That's gonna be good. Oh, get this though. So like, I was going to install the new because I have Spider-Man Miles Morales. I platinum the original Spider-Man on my PS4, and I was trying to move my saves and stuff, because I wanted to play the DLC content of the other Spider-Man.
Right. Yeah.
But apparently I don't have my save on the original Spider-Man, and I have to play the full game again just to get all of it again. So I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do that just for the DLC. It's like, it drives me insane. So yeah,
I'd walk away. I'd be walking away from that.
Well, I don't have time. Yeah, I definitely don't have the time to do it.
Yeah, there's just not enough time.
Yeah.
And then there's the Resident Evil 4 remake DLC as well. I don't know how folks feel about that. Those that played it, or if the DLC, like what the DLC is about per se, but it's also going to be compatible with the PSVR 2. So I think they're trying to find more ways to. I'm curious to see what those sales numbers have looked like so far. I need to check into that.
Oh, really?
Helldivers 2, which I don't know if you guys played Helldivers.
Yeah,
that game is pretty fun. Yeah, that's a pretty fun game. Talked about Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which I'm kind of like meh on that. There's that weird game, Baby Steps.
Yeah,
I feel like that's gonna be the next like Twitch sensation.
You know, it's actually from the creator of that one guy. What's it called? The guy who did the when you're in the kettle and you had to climb.
Yeah. Oh, going up. Or
yeah.
Not going up?
Yeah. Step up or something. I forgot.
You're in like a vase and you've got that sledgehammer, right?
Yeah. It's made. Yeah, getting over it. That's what it. Yeah.
The real name of this game is Baby Legs.
Rage-inducing.
Yeah, Baby Legs.
I want to call it Baby Legs the whole time. It's Baby
Legs. Yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah, so it's gonna be cool.
That's hilarious.
I mean, like, it's gonna be. Yeah, I mean, like overall, like the showcase of State of Play on this one was. I mean, it was mediocre. It was like. It was mediocre at best. At best, at worst, it was just. It just showed games that are coming out, which is, I guess.
I didn't even expect it, to be honest.
I didn't even
expect them to. Yeah, I was just
to be honest with you, I didn't even know it was going to come out. It was happening that day. I was like, oh, weird. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So I mean.
Also, too, Foam Stars is getting open beta September 29th through the 1st. So you Splatoon lovers are probably going to want to check that one out because it looked very Splatoonish to me.
Awesome. I'll be sure to miss that one. But
rude.
Yeah. Yeah, so but other than that. But no, I mean it was cool though. I mean, we got some stuff that's coming in the near future. October's going to be busy, of course, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it's all going to be. All right. We got wow, we actually not as bad as I thought we were going to be. But Lex, why don't you close us off?
Okay, so just for pre-context, I was reading my topic to the boys, and Davis said, "Why don't you stop there and let it be a surprise for us?" And I said, "Say less." So, if you can bring up my F around and find out chart, please, because we've got another episode of Idiots on the Internet. Okay.
Sorry.
So I watched this happen in real time on Twitter. Now, let me start. This person was a community manager for Opie, stop begging. LVT Halo, was a community manager for SQ, so Status Quo, and also worked with Advanced GG and Gamer Advantage. Now,
okay,
they tweeted, and I immediately saw it. I am building out channels in my Discord for the ladies' scrims on Saturday. I love and value all people. And as a Christian,
Uh-oh.
I believe God created people in his image as male and female. Genesis 5:1-2. Therefore, I will not be allowing trans players to participate. Now, this person's name on Twitter is at Magic Moonshot, but they have their display name as status quo, so SQ Magic Moonshot. Now, this blew up real quick because number one, how are you confirming what genitalia I have?
Mhm.
Number two, if you represent a company, you can have whatever values you want. And I always say there is no love more than Christian hate. But it's kind of like saying, and the boys both said it, I'm not racist, but stop right there. Stop right there. So immediately this got backlash. And I'm going through my photos on my phone because I was literally snapping photos in real time.
Was this in a Discord or was this
Wait,
like
what's this
inside
person's
Twitch?
name again?
They Magic Moonshot at Magic Moonshot if you want to look on their Twitter. They doubled down. They didn't stop. But their bio had gamer advantage, advanced GG, LVT Halo community manager, status quo, SQ community manager. So this person had 4 contracts. Okay.
Okay.
And they were doing big things. It was a little shocking to me once I went through some of their previous things, like them doing announcer kind of gigs with these companies and stuff like that. Because to me, honestly, doesn't quite fit the bill, but whatever. Like, you got the job, girl. You obviously were doing something right. Um, and immediately people were Advanced GG and Gamer Advantage. One of the creators you're working with seems to think dividing people is the right thing to do. Now, before we continue, Smitty, you work for a large corporation. Could you, in perpetuity, tweet something like this that involves that said company and say, I love everyone. However, due to my beliefs, we're going to be excluding this group of people. Would that corporation go for that?
I mean, there's no way in hell.
Exactly.
There's no way in hell. You're why
Mhm.
you would even like why are you in that position, number one, if
Right.
you're gonna not only that, dude, but like you literally put your bigotry like all out in display.
Oh,
Like you
on
put
Twitter.
it straight on there and then try being like, well, and again, if that's not something that you believe in, then that's not something that you believe in. But like you might want to not say the quiet part out loud and hold that one in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a weird hill to be like, I don't know if they're
Right.
talking about a specific person or they're just like, just in general, trans people don't come to this thing that you didn't know about anyway.
Right. Because it was on my Discord, but it was getting traction on Twitter. So I just needed to clarify was another thing that they stated. And then a very well-known trans player who is also head of communities. I don't want to out them because that is their business. But they said, hey, look, I respect that you have these beliefs. However, you can't work for a company and then say those things in the same sentence and also say I love all people, however, blah 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 blah, right? And this person, Magic Moonshot, responded, my DMs are open if you would like to chat about what are you going to chat with this trans woman about? Because it's not going to end well for you at the end of it, because they would just most likely be screenshotting it to save their own butt in their communities, right? So
It's
it
ridiculous.
was, I watched this in real time. So thousands upon thousands of retweets and quote tweeting and reaching out. Hey, status quo, did you see this? Hey, LVT Halo, did you see this? I found this interesting. Now, SQ Flame Sword, who is a pretty well-known gamer, um, there's their tweet initially said, in light of what I woke up to, SQ Sports all, plain and simple. I've been dealing with some personal stuff on the side. I didn't see this till this morning. SQ or status quo is working on this behind the scenes. Then 3 hours later, status quo says the situation is being handled as stated this morning. Our community's manager's most recent tweet / opinion does not express / represent those of our organization.
So
Skip
she's
this
gone.
version. Once everything is handled, there will be a final update on the matter. We stand for all. Now, as a company, you messed up there because you waited over 24 hours to respond, and it wasn't we let her go.
Yeah,
Right?
it's the clout. It's because of the Twitter feed.
LVT Halo the next morning at like 6 a.m., I want to say, LVT Halo will not be contracting Magic Moonshot indefinitely. Super short and sweet. They said what they needed to say. And we at LVT Halo believe that Halo is an inclusive place and Halo is for everyone. They
Okay,
took a
wait.
stand.
Is Halo the game or is this Halo the...
Halo
I don't
the
know.
game.
Oh, okay. I just want... What's SVT Halo?
No, LVT. You know what? I had that written down and I don't have that notebook. I can find that out for you. But it is part of actual Halo.
Is that the community of? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Okay.
And so she was a community manager of it. And so they were doing like scrims that were competitive, and she was setting up the girls' scrims, and that's when this tweet came out. But it was funny because the next morning I woke up and 9 a.m. I immediately opened my phone. I don't wake up at 9 a.m. My eyes open and I grab my phone, and Gamer Advantage is gone. Advantage GG is gone. But SQ and LVT Halo are there. 20 minutes later, LVT Halo is out of her bio.
Oh, wow.
And then
I noticed that
7
her
hours
bio
later,
was fresh.
SQ
Yeah.
was out of hers. But her name, it was at Magic Moonshot, but she had the SQ in front because she was a community manager. But they eventually came out hours later saying that they, were in talks about her next contract because her preliminary with them had ended, and so they were going to do a bigger contract with her. This girl just again,
she just blew up her...
imploded her career.
Yeah, Jesus.
Imploded. So I was curious what you all thought.
I mean, hey, you know what? It's, in a way, and I will say this though, I don't think it really matters what we thought. But the real question I would say is if it depending on her, the hill that she wants to die on was that, and to do like, it's really weird that you would think that to be completely unprofessional to post that the way it was posted. Not even the fact you're saying as a Christian, then you also marked it in like with a Bible verse and everything, and just say it basically kind of saying you're basically putting your beliefs over what you're doing over your work at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And like I mean, does that mean that her faith is stronger than what she cared about on working? And then if that's the case, then so be it. Will Jesus take the wheel? We'll see what's freaking's going to happen. Because I mean, yeah. She did. She came out with the statement. Okay.
Yep.
I love all people, but no Negroes allowed.
I know, right? It's like I was thinking to myself. I'm like, hey,
beliefs.
Hey, do you want to go see that one black? You want to go to that fighting game tournament? Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not racist, but no blacks. Yeah, it's like, come on. It's like, Jesus.
Y'all can't come. You're not welcome here, bro.
It's like, it's like, whoa, where do you think you're going there, son?
Right.
I laugh because I have been in situations like that. That's why I can comment.
Oh, you and me both.
That stuff happened to me in real life.
That's happened. Oh my God.
What I found funny too is people were like, "What happened to love thy neighbor?" And then they were quoting other things from the Bible, and it's like, but that gets thrown out the window, right?
Yeah.
Because love like Christian hate. Oh man, her statement.
Again, to me, there's so many people that desperately need media training. I don't know what bubble these young people live in, but you can't just go off saying crazy shit. I mean, you can, but there's consequences to the dumbass shit that you say.
People forget about the consequences part.
Yo, how do you forget? How do you not, as you're sitting there being like, I'm about to post this. Is this a good idea? Yeah, this is going to be, I got to let the people know. I can justify it in my head. I got to let the people know that, like, look, you over there, you're not welcome here.
Unbelievable.
You companies that I work for, you didn't know that I was like that? Oh, you wouldn't have known that had I not said anything and now I don't have jobs
It's
and
people.
partner. Okay, I got
I
it.
think it's the people's aggressive. Like, I don't think it's like a people that don't
So
really know.
weird.
Actually, exactly what Scyther is saying. That's
They were
not
just
even
dumb.
media trading. That's talking to people. That's talking to people trading. It's just that people just has that weird engagement, like that emboldenment of saying whatever the hell they're wanting to say without
That's
really
wild.
worrying about the consequences. And that's what I find amazing, especially if you're sponsoring other companies under your name.
Ooh.
under your whatever your LLC or your name is, like this girl is. Like, it doesn't matter at that point. It's like the fact is, like, dude, you went full on Christian hate on this one, on what you're trying to do, and you're trying to justify it because of your own personal beliefs. It's like, dude, you know what? I'm glad that your racism is showing, or and stuff, and basic, transphobia is showing, and people
Yeah, you definitely
now,
outed yourself.
now everyone knows who you are and what it is.
Yeah.
That so I'm glad that I'm glad that that's it. That says, like, hey, this girl, okay, yeah, you don't want to do this because it's so and so. So whatever, man. That's terrible. But I am actually inkling on what her statement is after this, all of this.
Well, and the kicker part too is there's a lot of people and they're like, well, women can have their spaces because obviously these men pretending to be women are trying to invade their spaces. Please don't speak for women. Number one, because you are not one. Number two, that woman doesn't speak for a majority of us. That's just not what happens, right? Okay, let's go through
Well,
it.
before that,
try to-
Dog says, let's be honest, there really shouldn't be any situation where people aren't welcome, with the exception of furries and bronies. That's still.
I got nothing to get. Hey, dude, if that's what
I
you
have no
want to
problems
do,
with
then that's
furries.
what you do, man. Like, it's none of my damn business.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
So I'm going to read this fast. The first comment underneath it is, that was poorly worded. It has been quite the ride over the past 48 hours. I wanted to make this post because I've been asked by many to clarify my position. I will do my very best to speak with honesty from my heart. I have nothing but love for all people. Yesterday and today, I was able to have several open conversations over the phone, with Discord and DMs, with people from all walks of life and points of view. As per their advice, I will do my best to clearly communicate my perspective. I've worked on hundreds of events that were open to all people and plan to do many more. My goal at the Ladies Scrum event was to create a space for biological women to compete in Halo as something supplementary to open competitions, not in replacement of any other platforms for Halo competitions. When I started building out a section of my Discord for these women's scrims, I created a category and role called Lady Spartans. This is when I made the decision to host the event for biological women only. As a Christian, I believe that God designs his creation with an assigned gender. Your God. Let's clarify that. Your God, either male or female. Sex and gender are two different things. I believe that every person, she didn't say that, I said that. I believe that every person has value, and I have no issue interacting, gaming, speaking, etc., with transgender people. I also acknowledge, oh my God, that every person has a right to make choices for themselves. Because of my beliefs, I felt it was dishonest for me to put the Discord tag Lady Spartan on a person that isn't a biological woman. It's none of your business, ma'am. For the several women's events across multiple titles that I worked on as either a caster, organizer, or consult, I have never tried to tell these groups who to include. In fact, I have never even brought up the topic of transgender women. I am not trying to convince people to believe the way I do, but when it comes to my personal Discord, I needed to stay true to what I believe to be right. But you work for these companies. The groups I previously worked with, both brand partnerships and organizations, were all open contracts where either party could walk away for any reason. I enjoyed my time working with each group and appreciate the people involved, even though I disagree with their decisions, obviously. I hold no ill will towards any of them. If you've read this far, thank you for hearing me out. I want to especially thank the many people who checked on me, blah, blah, blah. And we don't care from there on out because it's wishy-washy. Now, again, if I read that statement and, like you boys said, switched out transgender with black people, it would be a lot different, right? And
You know what? It's just a tall order for for her to try to find the company to be like, oh yeah, we're going, like, you know what, if your values mean that much to you to this extent, try to, yeah, and then you let companies know that that's where you're going to stand on this. Good luck trying to find another company that's going to back you up, because that's not going to freaking happen, especially in the gaming community.
Here's something that someone said to me about it. They're like, does she work at the strip club? No. Are these companies making her work at a strip club? No. Then why is she bringing up her religion?
That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I know, right?
It has no context here, right? It's not like she signed a contract and they're like, oh, by the way, you don't get to work there anymore. You have to work here in a place where you find it morally degrading. No, that's not what's happening. You're choosing this. And my personal Discord, then create a new Discord, because obviously you're the community manager.
That's what I was gonna say. Exactly. It's
like don't do it in your personal Discord.
Make a Discord if it's gonna be just for you, and it's gonna not tie any of those businesses that you were working for. By all means, be as transphobic as you wanting to be, and then try to find the same people that are going to be that you're wanting to be with. Okay, but yeah, just stay in your own freaking bubble or whatever. But at this point, you got to acknowledge the fact of where you effed up. I mean, I just don't know how you can feel like, oh, this is coming out of nowhere. I can't believe that they decided to do this and this kind of stuff.
That's the thing.
Let me go.
This is just a hypothetical, right? This isn't either that or then it would be targeted. If it's not just a hypothetical, because who said that there's even a trans person that would have been in that group or in that thing? Like, where's that? Like, that's what I'm saying, dude. That's what, like, it comes out of nowhere.
It does come out of nowhere, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, by the way, and this isn't the first time. There's an older tweet from 2022 about her. This is quote tweet from her saying, a woman doesn't get pregnant every time she has sex, and people with a womb should not be allowed to end the life of their unborn child. So this is not new views that she has. She has been this way, and clearly she has a record of saying this stuff. It just caught people. I just can't believe she put that. Like, people, I mean, we're basically in a time where people just out themselves.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, it's literally the meme where it's that one dude shooting himself in the chair and like, what happened? Or sticking the stick in the thing and like, what the hell happened?
She literally put her professional career on the line towards all of this, just at that, and it's just freaking ridiculous. It's like, you know what? Good job. Probably Florida.
She does. Ding, 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 ding.
Florida.
Yeah, probably Florida.
She recently pulled her kids out of school to homeschool them too.
Oh, even better. Not surprising at all.
Which the bigotry will continue, is all that says.
It's just, oh god, it's just
passed on to another generation.
Well, hey, we know. At least we know that this person, where this person stands. We know that we don't have to deal with this person. And I'm glad these companies did what they needed to do towards it, or they obviously are going to do what they're going to do. I mean, they're not but man, it's like
somebody like openly calling you the N-word, and like for a bit you're just kind of shocked that it actually happened. you just like sit there and like take it in like, this mother.
That happened to me at work one time. That was a crazy story. Yeah, it was crazy. I can tell you that story. I'll tell the story off the air, but it's crazy. It was insane. I was like, anyways. But anyways.
I'm just taken aback.
We go into the whole deal. Yeah. At work, though. This was like in a cubicle situation. No. Freaking crazy. Anyways.
I cannot wait to hear this story.
I heard she was already picked up for the Trump 24 campaign esports team.
Probably. Oh my God.
And folks, I bet I know their slogan.
Yeah. Folks, thank you for listening to episode number 191 in this beefy episode of the CFG Game Cast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. As always, we will be back again next week with a whole new set of different kinds of topics. But if you missed out on this episode, that is perfectly okay. We release it on all podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean on Monday each and every week. Or if you're a CFG member, it will be coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow. So there's absolutely no reason to miss out on our sexy voices. Ooh. Yeah, guys, if you haven't heard it before, definitely go check out the Amelia Tyler interview that we did over at the Pop Culture Gems. It was a really, really good interview from the narrator of Baldur's Gate, and check out the review of Lies of P, which comes out this Monday. So once again, this is Davis signing off with Lex and Smitty. Y'all, take it easy.